Hey, how are ya? Hey, how are ya? How you doing? How you doing?
So we're continuing the search for my dream Pennsylvania Allegheny riverfront property. And this plot of land here is 6.5, almost 7 undeveloped acres right on the Allegheny River. I know it doesn't look like it from what's behind me, but we're gonna go show you that right now. So I'm parked at the end of the actual road right here. Here is the corner of the property. The Allegheny is literally right there. Zero's with me, good boy. And let's head on in and take the tour. So this is the property boundary, runs straight up and goes along this little stream and creek right here that we will see in 1 second. The pink flags go all the way up. That's the Allegheny River Trail right there, and the river's just on the other side of the old rail line. And then the property markers run right up along the wooded edge, and then the creek borders it all the way up the mountain. Come on, ZZ. This is just entering the property. It's a huge, completely untouched lot. This is the access right here, so I would park at the end of the road, right where the pink stake is right there, is where my driveway would start. And eventually I would have to be able to build a culvert or road or something to be able to access the rest of it, which is totally fine, just straight across this way. You can see the property line goes along this wooded edge up to the top of the hill along the creek. I'm not sure if this is a brook trout stream or not, but I believe there's a very good chance that they could be in here. So I do have a cash offer on this property. I came out here about a month and a half ago, around the same time that I looked at that haunted cabin foreclosure that was for sale. I've been filming each of the property tours I've been taking. Again, I want everybody to see the process of me looking for my dream estate out here. We've seen some good properties. We've seen some crappy properties that I would consider definitely never buying. And then there's properties like this where it's exactly what I want in the exact location that I want. And you know, it's something I'm working toward hopefully purchasing. So this is the Allegheny Trail up there. You can see it's old and embanked because it was the Pennsylvania Railroad line. So we've come down pretty far already. The creek line is the boundary border. And this flows directly into the Allegheny after it goes under the old rail line. It's definitely overpriced, which pretty much everything is out here with river frontage. That's just kind of the name of the game. Where's my dog? Zero! When I brought Zero here last time, he was doing the same thing. He absolutely loves it out here. Hi, good boy. You having fun again? You having fun again? You love it out here, don't you? You want this place for you, huh? This is the second time here, huh? And you love it, huh? We're on the Allegheny River Trail, aka the old Pennsylvania rail line, and the property comes right up and ends just past these guardrails, because obviously this is a bike path. I don't want any cars on it, but right about where Zero is right now. So all the way up along the tree line to where the creek kind of comes in right there, and then still goes up on the other side of the creek even more. The Allegheny is right here, literally. There is boat ramp access literally right there. So I would not actually own any of this river frontage. This is owned by the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, aka the state of Pennsylvania, but I would be able to drop my boat in right there and just leave it. So I love everything about this land. I love that it's untouched. I love that it's right along an old rail line. I love that the river is right there, but not intruding on the property, so there's no risk of flooding. There's river access for the boat. It's in the stretch that I've been fishing for 15 years, so I know literally 5 miles down and another mile or 2 up. I know it like the back of my hand. I know all the good spots. I know all the hazards. I've literally fished it literally hundreds of times. Probably 1,000 hours, easily thousands of hours. So we're gonna keep walking to the end of the surveyed property. It's about 3 acres and change wide, and then goes about 2 acres and change up the mountain. So again, this is the second time I've come to tour this place. I did make an offer after leaving here. I was absolutely blown away and said, this is definitely somewhere I could see myself spending the rest of my days as far as my fishing and recreation. It's exactly what I want in the exact location that I want. The seller is pretty stubborn when it comes to coming down on the price. So for about a month, I didn't hear anything. I checked in with my realtor as I was coming out here to look at some other properties and said, you know, hey, my offer still stands. And then they actually countered me. After about 40 days, they countered me. Still a little higher than I'm willing to go. So I said, let me come out, take a look at some other properties, come back here and take a look. And I'm going to decide today if I want to stand pat or come up a little bit. I'm not going to come up and meet their number because I think it's still pretty high. I'm going to need to put in a road and a culvert, which is going to cost some money. And then that still leaves me with land with nothing on it. But it's just a perfect, absolutely beautiful area. Absolutely beautiful area. And this is all state-owned land. So even if I don't own on the other side of the Allegheny River Trail, I can still use this at my leisure because it's state. So here we are at the southern border of the property. You can see where the stakes are, and it runs straight up the hill. We'll go walk the entire thing and go in between. I'll show you all the highlights. So you can see we started at the emergency gate down there. So like I said, it's 3 acres and change wide and then goes deep about 2 acres or so, a little over 2 acres. So lead the way, homie. And it just gradually rises up the mountain. Lots of perfect areas for bushcraft shelters. I really would like to make like a bushcraft pavilion of sorts in a few different spots. What do you think? And again, just compared to some of the other lots I looked at, obviously this costs a lot more money, but 6.5, almost 7 acres, completely wooded. It's an awesome place for me to just relax, be away from everybody, and for Zero just to have the time of his life. So just all these cool rock outcroppings. Imagine just building like a nice little shelter right here. Outdoor kitchen coming off of this. Got the nice view of the river. Maybe even like build a viewing deck off this or something. In my mind, the minute I sign the papers, I'm bringing my saws and hammers and we're going to town. Hi, Bubba. Give me a kiss. Give me a big kiss. You're such a good boy. You're such a good boy. Good boy. Big jump. Big jump. Yeah, good boy. Big boy. Big boy. We're all muddy and gross. We camped last night. We went fishing yesterday and we camped last night. So this is the second time I've been here, and last time it felt like home. This time it feels like home. There's nothing on the property. I don't have any access or rights to it aside to come visit and potentially make another offer, but it feels like it's mine already. And I think that's part of the longing for my own place out here, is that I've spent so much time over the last decade and a half fishing, camping, doing all that up here, is that I just feel at home in this area and along this river. So maybe this will be my future homestead site, and if not, I know I'm in the right place. So this is the far and high corner of the lot. So we just came all the way up there. You can barely even see the river from up here, even with no foliage. And we hiked 8 to 10 miles yesterday, brook trout fishing. Whew. But look at the view from up here. So the river's obviously down there. It's 2 acres straight up the hill, a little over 2 acres. You can't even see where we came in. Then we're gonna walk. You can kind of see where the trees pickpocket straight up along the mountain, and then it hits the creek and shoots back down the creek to where we came in. So literally you can't even see the river from up here. Somebody else owns the entirety, like a mile down that way. So the property line's right here, straight down. Somebody else owns at least a mile that way, and then all the way to the top of the mountain to where it flattens out, a couple miles up there, and then the whole entire back of this, it's owned by one person. So I would be boxed in on this whole entire side and behind me, except for what comes in on the road, which there's another family that owns the 2 lots right there. So one family, then another guy, and I would just be kind of sandwiched in the middle, which is nice. Everything owned on this side and up, like I was just showing you, is undeveloped. Again, there's no cabins on it, no roads, no buildings, nothing. Even just camping opportunities. I would love nothing more than to build 2-3 bushcraft sites so I can just go camp on my own land, especially in the meantime while I don't have a road to access the heart of the property or an area to put my camper other than right there at the driveway. Just the mountain and the fog across the way, the river valley. And nothing but untouched forest all the way up to the top of the mountain. This dude's having the time of his life out here, huh? 2 full days of adventure for you, huh? You're gonna sleep good tonight, like you did last night. You were just out like a light. Perfectly immaculate Pennsylvania wilderness. I really would love to own this. My offer stands. It is at the high end of what I can afford. I can't necessarily 1,000% afford it at the moment, but I could stretch my budget enough to make it work for a couple years until hopefully I'm able to do more with it. But getting my hands on it now, I think would definitely be worth tightening the belt for the next couple years, because I'm 33. I'd like to have something out here by the time I'm 40, but obviously the sooner the better. Why not start early? That's what they say. You never know how much time you have. And also buy land, because God ain't making any more of it. Here's another super awesome rock outcropping. Another place I'd like to build some bushcraft stuff. All these awesome rocks. Nice flat spot right above it too, off these trees and whatnot. So clear a little bit of brush, a little bit of manual labor, and this could be an awesome site B on camp. Just el natural, right, ZZ? Build a nice little deck and shelter. I got so many ideas, things I can do and build up in here. So this is probably my favorite spot on the entire property. We're almost to the creek's edge. Another 100 yards or so and it drops back down into the valley. You can barely make out my truck down there. But you got this awesome plateau up here. Nice big flat rock. I would love to just build a little bushcraft deck right here. Some camping chairs. Clear a few trees. A lot of this stuff is dead up in here. When I was here, there was a little bit of foliage. Clear a nice little view of the river. And then you got this awesome rock outcropping up over here. Nice little graded area over here. And then you got this awesome rock right here with these big trees all behind it. So build like a nice overhang, like a slant. Build a nice platform. Can set up a tent right there. Nice little like outdoor kitchen type area, just like a bushcraft table with a flat cooktop. Put the jet boil on there. This would definitely be kind of like, in my opinion, the main outdoor area. I would really put in some time and work to make this kind of like the camp part of the camp. I would definitely want to have some kind of building or container home, or even just a camper in the meantime. Right down there, we'll walk to it. But you know, I definitely want to have at least one, if not 2, outdoor sites. So we have here, and then that other rock outcropping over there, maybe somewhere down in here. You know, clear a nice trail for an ATV or something to come up here. It's kind of like perfect right this way, kind of perfect down this way. So much potential, and I guess limitless potential, because it's completely untouched. So I could do absolutely whatever I want with it. Get a nice side-by-side utility vehicle, throw all the tools in there, be able to harvest all the firewood I ever need. I mean, even just this right here alone, all these trees down. So the property's edge goes right down here back to the creek, and there's all kinds of waterfalls on the creek. We'll go walk over there in a bit. The best site to build on is straight down here, and you can't even really see the far edge of the property from here, because it kind of goes and rolls that way and then goes up and all kind of funnels down this general direction, still downhill towards the river, but all kind of fells this way into the creek area. So there's 2 really nice sites to build, and they're both right over here. So the first one is right over here. I can see them, you probably can't, but somebody's on a boat down there. The river's not frozen at all, and it's almost 60 degrees today. Somebody's out on a boat. They could be fishing for walleye. A lot of people will also take their boats down to better hunting grounds on either side of the river. So if they live right here and there's state game lands everywhere around here, they'll go downstream and across the river, dock their boat and hunt, and then come back, obviously. So I'd have to build a road or culvert from right about here across the way. Just a lot of fill. I don't know how much that would cost. I don't have an estimate, but I've heard a couple different numbers from the realtor and another guy that lives local out here. Would definitely be a bit of a project, but once I have the land and build that, only have to build it one time. But here is that prime place to build. Perfectly flat up here. So would build the drive coming in over here. And then this is at least a quarter to a half acre of perfectly flat land. Would have to timber it out a little bit just to make some room, but you can definitely see, you know, from about, even a little further back than I'm seeing now, from right about there to about that downed mossy tree, all the way up to about that tree right there, that big prominent tree, and right along the lip and full circle back. So imagine one day, yeah, build the road, eventually be able to put something right here, even just a camper in the meantime, or just get the camper and put it at the edge of the property, still have access to it. The river's still right here no matter what. And yeah, eventually this would be the homestead site. I don't want to timber the property. I want to leave as many trees as possible, but would have to take out some in this plot to be able to build. There's another nice flat site, but in order to access it, that's double the amount of road. And there's no creek there, but it dips pretty good. So I'd have to fill and put another, essentially, bridge to Terabithia to get to it. So I think as far as what's most optimal, I'm standing in it. What do you think of this joint? It's our second time here. You're having fun, huh? You're going to be super tired today after yesterday and today. Are you the happiest puppy on earth? You're having a great time, huh? Just knowing his reaction to being here makes me want it all the much more. So this is the edge of the nice buildable flat spot. And it drops down pretty good. Got a nice view of the creek. Nice view of the river. Like I said, just kind of clear out some trees here, have a better view. And imagine you building the house or cabin or putting the container home right here. And then nice kind of front yard area. And then building a nice, doesn't even have to be huge, but a nice overhanging deck to drink coffee, have a beer or whatever, eat dinner, have the barbecue be like right here on the edge. Got a nice view of the river. Boat would be literally right there. Let's go check out this creek and waterfalls though, huh? It's a 9 out of 10. The only point missing is the fact that I would have to build that road in there and that the property itself does not have its own boat ramp, but I can definitely live with both of those. So this is the edge of the property going up to the rail line down here in the valley. We're gonna walk the creek now, which is the border of the property, give or take. It goes a little further in on this side, which is nice. So I have this whole nice big flat spot down here too I could do something with, but wouldn't really want to build down here in case the creek ever flooded and it just feels like very low, might hold some water, and I have no view. I'd be down here. Up there it's prime time. You can see how much higher. That's the edge of the flat spot where I said I'd want to build the deck and wrap around. We were just looking out over the river that way. You can see how much higher this is than even the embankment right there. So imagine, yeah, homestead up there, nice wraparound sweeping deck up there, barbecue, all that, looking right out at the river. And again, just timber everywhere to harvest. I would never need to buy firewood. This creek is spring fed, so perfect source of drinking water. I wouldn't build a pump from it or anything. I don't even know if that's legal, but definitely fresh water to drink from. And this creek, once it starts to hit the mountain, about a couple hundred yards that way, it's just little waterfall after plunge, pool after waterfall. It's very, very small, but still very, very scenic. I don't know if there's any brook trout in there. I doubt it. Maybe further up the mountain where it starts to flatten out a little bit, but it's pretty steep. Good boy, get a big drink, good boy. So we're still at the bottom here, but this creek is on the property. The edge runs right along the tree line and then up this way. So awesome waterfalls up here. Let's go check them out. So there is a cabin right here on the edge of the property, but just even to get to the homestead site, you're talking 100 and 200 yards up into that way. And then the real separation begins around the corner where I build the road. So they are right there on the edge, but the creek divides. Come on, ZZ. I don't know if there's brook trout in here. It's not marked on the Pennsylvania map as a natural reproduction stream. And there are several nice pools like this one that I think could maybe hold one fish. I'm not 100% sure. This one is not marked though, but it has all the makings to potentially have brook trout. I just don't know if it's overlooked or if there's nothing in here. Like right here as well, I could definitely see there being a brook trout in here. You know, little one fish hole. Yeah, so I'm at the northern edge of the property. And like I said, this creek is the boundary. Super awesome. Clean, fresh spring water from straight up the mountain. There's nothing civilization-wise for 20 or 30 miles up that way, well beyond the headwaters. Let's cross here. Good boy, handsome. Get a big drink. Good boy. Good boy. Perfect for him, too. Right, Bubba? Last time we were here, I hiked up really far on this. You know, a good half a mile to 3/4 of a mile up. Saw plenty of those super steep and ever-growing more majestic waterfalls the further up we get. Not going to go that far this time because we still have 2 other properties to look at today, but even just these next couple right here really show you what's magical about this property. Goes all the way up to the top of the mountain and then disappears into the forest. Spring fed, comes out of nowhere and flows right into the Allegheny. Imagine setting up your tent right there on this flat point. My thoughts and opinions on this place after hiking it a second time have not changed at all. I really would like to make this mine. Right now it's just a numbers game and a waiting game. I don't think I'm going to come up on my price at all. I feel my offer is fair. I feel that their number was originally high. Their counter offer was fair, but still high based on what they're asking and based on what I offered. We'll see what happens. We've got 2 more properties to go look at today, so I hope you're enjoying this video series. I just think it's awesome and fun to kind of showcase the process of the properties that I'm looking at, look at the potential of some places, see what makes others uninhabitable, at least for me. So I'll be peppering in these videos between camps and other things. Eventually this video series will culminate in me, hopefully sooner than later, obtaining the property or cabin or house or river frontage of my dreams. And at that point, we'll have a whole new video series of rehabbing a cabin or building bushcraft on my land or container home in the middle of the woods. Whatever the land that I purchase will entail. It's 100% certain that I'm gonna buy land. It just depends on where and what. Well, thank you all for joining me on this. Let me know your opinion. What do you think about this place? What do you like and don't like? Do you see potential? Do you see any ideas that I'm not thinking of? Let me know. Thank you all for being here with me. I do hope you enjoy these types of videos. I appreciate the support big time. Much love to all of you, and we will see you on the next one.